Simbora, meu pessoais, para mais uma jogatina de Super Mario Odyssey. Cara, que isso, cara? Fechou lá, meu.
Not 10 years ago, but 13 years ago, I was a financial advisor, and later I started producing content in the internet. And I was partner of Hiko. Hiko?
Yeah, we used to do the marketing. Hiko, and then
Yes.
it turned into Hiko XP, right?
Yes. Then XP bought Hiko from Monica, that you met there.
Yeah.
And I was a partner of Hiko, and when I was partnering and trying to help clients invest through Hiko, I knew your job for the first time. And I wasn't very
Bora
good
então, bora
at
pro próximo
SEO. So you
mundinho,
were
André.
one of our
Mundinho, André.
first and bigger references here in Brazil, and I learned a lot. So thank you so much in person.
Oh, thank
And this was the first time I met you. And tell me a bit more about your business, because you're not from Brazil. You have a business here. How
Yeah.
your business operates around the world?
you. Sure, so we're in quite a few countries. We have
Cara,
around
o cachorrinho, ele me leva até
I don't
uma
know how
estrela.
many will
Vamos
be
ver isso
at
aqui.
the end of next
Esse
year.
cachorrinho é um filho
But we
da
just
mãe.
added Germany. We're now soon we're going to be expanding into France, Italy, Spain,
Cadê o-
and
cadê o
Portugal.
dogueira?
So we're adding
Cadê o dogueira?
4 more countries. But we have an ad agency called
Doguinho,
MP
nossa estrela.
Digital.
Vai, Doguinho.
So think of some of the biggest publicly traded companies,
Aqui,
you
velho.
know, that are traded
Sério?
on the stock market.
Ah,
We help them with their
cara.
marketing globally. See, the way it came about Brazil was years and years ago, there was a company called Hotmart that invited me to speak at their conference. And when I spoke at the conference, I saw so much potential in the people here in Brazil and the companies in Brazil. And I was just like, this is going to be a massive
Ah, pegou
country
o
for
chapéu.
business. And I remember I met up with a gentleman named Andres Steves who created BTG Pactual. And during my meeting with him, we were sitting down and he was speaking to me and he was just like, Neil, Brazil's like the wild, wild west. This is in its early stages like it was in America. There's just tons and tons of
Aqui.
opportunity. And my meeting with him was long. I think it lasted almost 2-3 hours.
Aqui,
And we were
Baratinho.
just, there was no
Ah,
purpose. We were
não,
just
mano, cadê a
talking about
estrela?
life and business and investing and where I put some of my money. And
People should do it more often. Right.
yes, they should. And you know, from there I was just like, you know what,
Okay,
we need to
vambora, né?
expand into Brazil. So we expanded into Brazil. We first started in Brazil helping our American companies that were publicly traded expand into here. And then we started working with a lot of the large companies here in Brazil, and many of them are publicly traded as well.
Okay, but you have 800 employees nowadays. When did you start your company? Because you said how you started here in Brazil, but when did you start your company, the first employee and all that?
The first employee, believe it or not, was 5 years ago. But in Brazil, Marink, who's sitting in front of us, he's just like, I want to set up operations for
Let
you
us
in
go.
Brazil.
Let us
we didn't
go,
have a
eh,
company
véi?
at the time. And I said, go for it. Let's start it off here. But we officially started in the
Legion
US
Kingdom.
5 years ago. Technically 5 years and 1 month. So October was our 5-year anniversary.
And how did you become so famous? I mean, you use it to produce content, like way before creating your company, right?
I
Or am
did.
I-
No, you're right, but I'm not famous. You're considered famous.
No, you are famous for us. You have a lot of authority, and you have like I asked a lot of people here in the office if they knew you because you're coming today, and all of my leaders and head of business knew you. So maybe you
It's mainly with executives, business owners, CEOs. That is the majority of the people that know me, at least in Brazil. But yeah, no, it's before that. So I'm a serial entrepreneur, just like you did businesses and many different things before this. Like you mentioned, you're an investment advisor, right?
yeah.
So I had quite a few software companies. This is my latest startup. Some were successful, some did really, really well, some did very poorly. But the overall, the ones that did well made up for it. It's just like investing. You pick one stock, something can go wrong and you can lose money. You pick a handful, and if you really study what you're investing in, you pick the right ones, overall you should do good in the long run.
That's the thing about the entrepreneurship. You don't need to like get everything right. You just need one good thing you've done correctly, and it's good for you. But you told me some of your business went poorly. I mean, can you tell us the story of a poorly received company from the audience or the customer perspective?
So everyone is probably familiar with Amazon AWS, cloud computing, right? You put a website, it goes into the cloud or also on servers all around the world. And these are shared resources that many different people can use. Because years ago, the way servers worked was you guys or I would or Itayu would have one server when they're starting off, but they may not use all the space, but they're paying for it. It was very inefficient. So years and years ago, I met a group of people and I funded over $1 million. This is probably 18 years ago. So back then $1 million was more, right? So so I spent $1 million into building a cloud computing company before AWS was even started, and spent quite a bit of money, and it didn't work out. We had the right idea. Look how big AWS is from Amazon. It's a potentially $500 billion, maybe even $1 trillion business, right? Just the AWS portion. And when you look at that, the reason our business didn't work out well was great idea, poor execution. It was the wrong people who weren't subject matter experts. It's like you give people investment advice because you truly understand investing. You may be young, but you're an expert in investing and you know it well because you've been doing it for such a long time, and you continually learning more and more and fine-tuning your craft when it comes to investing and just getting better at picking, let's say, right companies, right stocks. But you're an expert. So the moment you put money into people who aren't, it's a big mistake. And that was one of my earlier mistakes that I made.
So, getting right idea with poor execution or the poor timing is also being wrong, right?
That's correct.
Yes. A lot of good inventions were created before the market was ready, and they didn't go very well, right? I'm not sure if the market wasn't ready or the execution were poor, but
or both.
Of both.
Like, look, you're very popular on YouTube. I've seen your videos on YouTube and Instagram.
Uma panela inteira desse lugar.
Did you know that Vimeo was before YouTube? They went through a lot of lawsuits, got bloody, didn't do well. It was either, it started with the V, I'm pretty sure it was called Vimeo, but it was based out of San Diego, this entrepreneur I met. And I think, I'm pretty sure the name started with the V, but I think it was called Vimeo. He ended up having tons of lawsuits, getting bloody. Great idea, it's the same concept as YouTube. But after he was done with all the legal trouble or execution, YouTube came out executed him. They didn't have to deal with the legal issues, and boom, they blew up.
Let me ask you a second. Why did you think your business became successful? Right? What are the pillars that made it this way and others didn't?
So now when I create businesses, it's almost like I'm cheating.
Really? Why?
Because I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years, and I have money. So when I started this current business, I put $5 million in my own money from day one. And then I bought more companies, and then, like, let's say in February, I spent another $8.6 million on my own money. I'm not starting from scratch. I have money at this point, so it makes it easier, and the money is my money. So I don't have to go to investor or a board meeting, anything. I do whatever I want, right? So having capital just allows you to move so much faster and be more aggressive. So that's one. Two, I've been doing this long enough. When you started doing investment advice, I bet you're much better now than you were 10 years ago. You've learned a lot, right?
Yeah, a lot.
So it's the same thing. When I first started as an entrepreneur 20 years ago, I made so many mistakes. I'm not the smartest person. But over time, the reason I got to where I am today is I learned from my mistakes. See, I didn't go to Harvard. I didn't go to Yale or Stanford or MIT. But the way I learned how to become successful is I made so many mistakes. Eventually, I said, if I don't make that same mistake over and over again and I learn from it, then the things I will be focusing on would be the things you should be doing because I've already made most of the mistakes. So now when I do businesses, one, I start with money. Two, I already know most of the mistakes to avoid. Three, and this is one of the biggest ones, I hire amazing leadership. So I'll put in CEOs and managers and operations people from my industry who've been part of other successful companies before. Like the CEO I put in place for this current company, his name is Mike Gullickson. He was a president at a company called iProspect, which was owned by Dentsu, which is a publicly traded Japanese conglomerate. I think they have 60, 70,000 employees maybe. And the division he ran as a president had, I think, close to 5,000 employees. So he already ran a competitor who was bigger. So I will go and get amazing people from my industry who are already very successful and give them a lot of money to join my company. And when I mean he was successful, not only did he run a 5,000 plus company, before that, he ran a company in the same space that sold for over $50 million. Before that, he was the head of sales and operations for a company that sold to Hearst, I believe, for $400 million. This is 10 plus years ago. So if you keep hiring people who have a track record of being successful in your space, you're much more likely to succeed.
It's unfair because it kind of is, but I also saw a lot of good entrepreneurs with a lot of money, some of them billionaires, that went bankrupt from night to day. And in your opinion, and you probably knew some guys that fit this perfect example, but what do you think makes you confident about not doing these mistakes that some maybe wealthier, more intelligent, with more results than you maybe got wrong?
So entrepreneurship is a little bit about dreaming and believing in yourself. So I'm crazy. And here's what I mean by crazy. I think I can do anything. And I know that's not true. I'm not good at playing soccer like Neymar. I will never be as good as him or Messi or Ronaldo. I don't have that ability. But in business, I think I'm one of the best. Not one of the best like an Elon Musk, but I'm talking about within my space. Okay, so my space is marketing.
Vamos mais uma vez, gente.
Right?
Vamos mais uma
I'm not
vez,
good like
gente.
Elon Musk sending rockets
Aqui é
into
doideira.
space. I believe he's much better than me. But in the marketing vertical, I believe I'm one of the best.
Tentar pegar
A little
aqui.
bit of arrogance, but that's just my
Yes,
belief. And
baby.
because I believe in myself
Agora vem
and I
aqui, ó.
continually try to learn more and more and I never stop, that's why I'm super confident. See, you mentioned you're 32, correct? If you're 32, I'm
Isso muda
37,
muito, só pra te-
or
pra-
if
pra- pra-
you were 19, I don't care what age you are. I believe I can always learn from someone. So if you work at, Empiricos or Rico, and you are just starting out, and you were telling me, Neil, you can do this better, you can do that better, I would learn.
Falta
And being open-minded and always learning from people, doesn't matter how much money they have, but being open to learn from anyone has really helped me succeed because it allows you to get way more ideas. And some of the best ideas come from young people who don't have a proven track record.
Yeah. Something I'm thinking a lot in the past recent days is that I think entrepreneurs should
Vamos comprar aqui
really
uma roupinha
focus on
pra gente entrar
like
na festa.
finding their talent somehow, because I feel you are talented in marketing and talented with hard work. The hustling part of it makes your success very big and makes you confident, even though you know a lot of people are very good in marketing also, because maybe you found your talent. Do you feel talented in the marketing area?
I do. So I'm a big believer that a lot of people who are young who want to be entrepreneurs, what they do is they go and start their own business. I actually believe they should try to do two things first. One, work for companies like yours because they can learn a lot of skills.
Eu não tenho
They can learn
moedinhas
how you do
suficientes
marketing.
daqui.
They can
Vamos
learn how
pegar.
you do fulfillment. They can learn how
Pegar
you
as
do
moedinhas
customer
pra comprar a
success.
roupinha
They can learn
especial,
how you do
pegar mais
operations.
uma,
These are all valuable skill
mais
sets.
uma lua.
Two, I also recommend that they try out a lot of different things. See, it's really hard to figure out what you're talented
Ó, lá
on
em cima
unless you
tem
try a lot of
uma
things,
lua.
and then you'll figure out, oh, I like
de
this and I'm good at
Pode ser
this.
lua, pode ser
Because
estrelinha.
you need to not only
Cadê?
be talented at it, but you
Não
also
vi,
have to
cara.
like it.
Ah, lá em
Because
cima.
if you don't like it, you won't put in the hours.
Eu tô fazendo
See,
pra
you're
ele.
talented, but if you had talent and you hated what you're doing, you wouldn't put in all these hours. Because you love what you're doing and you're talented, that is why your company is successful. You need both of them. And then the first thing I mentioned
tem como ir lá,
is
ó.
you should work for companies like yours or
Tem que pegar
others
tipo
where you can
pássaro,
learn a lot from it. Even if
pega
it's
lá em
only for a
cima.
year or two, you can just learn so much
Ah, aqui tem
versus
uma
doing
luzinha.
everything
Acabei
on
de
your
ver.
own.
Olha lá, se brilhar assim, ó, é uma luzinha.
I usually feel that you can be
Não é
talented
mu-
in
Ah, que
something
beleza.
and don't love it, but I feel the odds are more likely to
Como é que eu vou lá em cima?
show you like you love the area you're talented in, because everybody says you're good at it and it's easier, right? But see, a curiosity of my life is when I started producing content, I didn't start producing a video. I started with a blog called O Primo Rico, right here in Brazil. And I was producing a lot about previdência privada. It's a kind of investment here in Brazil. And I started producing this blog, and it really took like 1 to 2 years
Mais
to
um lá, ó,
start
acabei de
to
ver.
give me some results.
Caraca,
But people
bem
think
fácil
I
encontrar, né?
started as a YouTuber or something, producing
Oh.
content. Like,
Nossa, eu não vou lá.
and all the people that knows you,
Ai,
and
meu
I asked
Deus, quase
them
consegui. Vamos lá de novo.
proactively
Opa, mais três aqui.
what you were known for. They told me it was because of SEO.
Yeah.
And this is something I really studied very hard on my initial days in the internet. Can you give us like a definition of SEO?
So SEO stands for search engine optimization. Whenever you do a search on Google, at the top you see the paid results. It says sponsored or advertising, and then underneath you see the results that Google's algorithm puts there for free. So to get your website there, you have to do something called SEO, or also called search engine optimization. You have to put in keywords in your website, write content related to those terms. You have to make sure your website loads fast. You have to build content that's popular, gets social shares, gets other websites to link to yours.
Ah,
You
não,
have
que
to optimize
difícil,
your
velho.
code so that way a search engine can understand and read your code. Right? These are all factors that go into
Ah, tá,
SEO.
isso aqui é pra crescer uma
But they say
estrela,
there's
mas eu não
over
sei onde
200
colocar.
factors in Google's algorithm.
Depois
to
vamos
give you
achar depois.
200 factors.
200 plus factors. Yeah.
And what are like the 5 plus in your opinion?
So
I mean, is it your opinion or is it a fact? I mean, I'm not sure if the algorithm is open.
the algorithm's not open, but they say there's a lot of factors. So there's 200 plus, but there's been a lot of data and studies. So we look
Bora,
we
bora.
analyze over 900 million domains, and we know the factors that
Oi.
really impact.
Chegar naquele lá é
ranking.
difícil, cara.
So number one is how popular is your brand.
Tentar aquele pulão
Like
com
if you have a
chapéu,
popular
né?
brand like Nike or Globo, you're less likely to create fake news, right? Because people trust it. So Google wants to rank brands higher. So brand
Ah, meu pai, sai
is a big
daí,
factor.
cara.
And if you look
doido,
at the
velho.
top 10 search queries on Google, almost all of them are brands. I think the majority, like 6 or 7 of them are brands.
Caraca, bicho.
The second thing that you really need to focus on is creating amazing content. If you don't create amazing content, they won't know what to rank you. The content doesn't have to be text. It
Que
can
raiva,
be video,
cara, que
it can be
raiva.
audio, it can be text, it can be any of them because Google can decipher videos, right? They own YouTube. They can decipher audios, and of course they understand text. The third thing you need to do is make sure that other people link to you. So it's like votes. You guys just had a presidential election. The reason the president won is because he had more votes, right? So on the internet, a vote is one website linking to another website. So the more websites linking to yours that are relevant and good, the higher you're going to end up ranking. 3, you need to button up your code. Your code on your website needs
I
to
mean,
be...
the 3 was the backlinks,
Oh,
right?
4, sorry, 4.
The 4?
4 is your code.
The code?
Uh-huh.
How important is the code? I mean, it's because of
Yes,
the loading time.
brasileiro!
Yes.
It's very relevant.
Yes, because it's loading time.
Foi mal, galera.
You
Gritei.
take out your phone, and if it
Wow.
takes you 10 seconds to load a
Vou pular
website,
lá,
you're
ó.
not going to stay there. You're going to go on to the next one. But the reason code is important, not just for loading time, but for them to crawl your page. See, if your code is messy, like a messy kitchen, if you're cooking a recipe but you can't find where everything is, it's going to take you forever. And people get frustrated. But if your code is clean, like your kitchen is organized, it makes it much easier and search engines prefer them. And then the last one that no one really considers a factor, but you'll understand this one, is time. See, everyone wants everything right now. You have to be consistent. You have to do this long enough. Just like you. It took you years before you really started at the top. See, I know a lot of people who talk about you in Brazil, and they say you're an overnight success. I disagree. I don't mean this in a negative way, I mean in a positive way. You worked very hard for many, many years to get to where you are right now. It wasn't just all of a sudden oh, everyone sees you and that's it. You put in so many hours and years to create this
Bora
company,
lá.
right? It doesn't happen
Caraca, mano. O
overnight.
que tá acontecendo?
And people think that you can just get amazing results,
pra lá,
whether it's
né?
in marketing
Então,
or business. No one builds a big business in 1 year. It takes 3, 4, 5, 10 years to build something massive.
And it's really good hearing you say all of that. Like it's like you talk in a clean and very understandable way. Like you use metaphors and all of this. This is so cool. Thank you so much. The top 5 things are brand, awesome content,
Yeah,
backlinks,
yeah.
a clean code, and time. By time, you don't mean timing, right? It's
Vamos lá,
time like
então. Bora.
consistent.
Consistent and being patient. So you have to continually do it for many years, but you have to wait many years. People want to do something and get the results right away. It's like in investing. When you pick a stock, you can't control inflation. You can't control who's going to be president. You can't control a lot of factors that can make the stock market go up or down. But if you believe in the company, like I believe in Amazon, I believe in Apple, I believe in Google, I've owned a lot of these stocks for a long time. I'm not giving financial advice, I'm just saying I've owned these stocks for a long time. So some years they go up, some years they go down, but because I believe in the companies, in the long run, I've done very well because I picked the right ones. Right? So you have to be consistent because you can't always time things. Remember earlier we were talking about, oh, did you get lucky and do it at the right exact moment? When I say timing is you have to be patient and consistent. Because even a lot of good companies like a Google or Apple, sometimes they have a bad year even if they're making more money because you can't control the inflation. You can't control supply chain. These are all things that can hurt companies, but in the long run, you know, you're wearing an Apple Watch. You have an iPhone. Amazing company that creates amazing products. I'm not telling people they should buy the stock. That's up to them. I'm just saying, when I see something I like, I'll buy it and I'll hold it for a while.
Yes! Como vai, cara?
Very good, and it makes very good sense.
Aí, ó. Pá.
I've studied like
Pá. E foi, garotão!
they make sense for me, a lot of sense. And you probably had tons of cases. Like you helped a lot of companies grow a lot. I know a lot of companies you help, and you probably have a lot of other ones. Can you share a case, a good case with us, and maybe sharing like the logic, the mathematic logic of this thing? Like we have 100,000 searches for this keyword. The site, the first position has like 40% of the clicks. Each click is like $10 or something. Can you tell me a case?
Yeah, so a great example of this is Empiricals. So Empiricals, when they started getting into cryptocurrencies, they weren't ranking for a lot of the terms. We got them number 1 in Brazil when we were working with them for the term Bitcoin. Pre-COVID. Okay? So with that term Bitcoin, it was so popular, right? The amount of emails that they were generating
Pelo menos moeditas, né?
was thousands and thousands and thousands. Then from the emails, they start pushing the products that they sell, and they were starting to generate, from what we could see, tons and tons of revenue. I can't tell you the revenue numbers, but you get the point, right? It's one of the most popular languages, right? And I know you know the Rico people, Rico XP. When we worked with them for in 2-year period, we got them over 2 million visits. 2 million from just SEO. Think about how many signups you're going to get and how much revenue that can generate for you in the long run, right? So it can go with all businesses, like in the United States and actually globally now, even including Latin America, United States, Europe, we work with Adobe. So Adobe is everywhere, right? Their software. Now, they spend so much money on paid advertising. What if you can get that traffic for free and cheaper? Mm-hmm. And it's been such a big ROI that when Adobe started with us, now their campaign is 4 or 5 times larger because the ROI is so massive, right? And we even won awards for our work with Adobe. We got search marketing awards, but the same goes with paid advertising. A lot of people are spending money in Brazil that we're seeing on Facebook and Google, and they're not fine-tuning their landing pages, their copy for conversion. And we go in there and we fix a lot of these things, so that way when someone is spending 3-4 million reais a month on ads, and we start giving them 30, 40, 50% more efficiencies, that's a lot of savings.
See, I started growing my YouTube channel when I started applying all mechanics on my videos. Because back then, the YouTube algorithm wasn't so good as it is today. And even today, the YouTube algorithm reads a lot of texts, like the tags we put in the videos, the thumbnail, raw name of file, like the title of the video. Yep. And I started producing a lot of videos with a long tail, like how to invest your money for beginners, like how to buy a Tesouro Selic, how to start investing, how to buy a crypto, investing in crypto. A lot of terms that we have a lot of searches every month, and these videos weren't as good as the ones I produce when I'm aiming at timing, but they have like a longer tail.
Yes.
And I have a lot of those little seeds planted, and now we're talking, and I have a lot of videos growing from time to time, even the ones I produced like 5 years ago. Like, that's the beauty of the SEO, right?
Yes, and the beauty of it is a lot of those videos, they may not get 1 million views a month, but they may get 50,000 views a month.
And very consistent.
Yes, and then when you have 100, 200 of those videos, the view count adds up to being a lot.
And maybe I feel it's more qualified, because it's like the answer for a question. It's not like something, okay, let's watch it. It's like an answer that someone needs. So when they look for an answer, they're more open, buy something,
Yes,
become a
agora eu vou pegar
leader,
o
or something
garoteiro,
like.
né? Cadê o
And
garoteiro?
when we talk about SEO in Brazil and in the States, I feel,
Yes.
especially when we are talking about
Agora aqui, ó.
paid
Vem
search,
aqui.
that Brazil has a lot to develop. I feel here it's a little cheaper than it is in the US. A lot
Merda!
of companies didn't do it here.
Tudo errado.
What is the difference for you that works in both countries, maybe other
Vem,
countries,
tô com raiva.
when we
Vem,
talk
vem,
about
vem.
SEO and
Vem
competitive scenario in both countries?
Yeah, so first off, it is much cheaper in Brazil than the US and even a lot of European countries. But the revenue you generate per click is also less in Brazil.
It's
Não,
like
desisti.
okay, understood.
You get what I mean because of buying power, right?
Yes.
So companies were willing to pay, like Apple is willing to pay more in America for the click than they would in Brazil because the buying power is larger. It doesn't mean Brazil's bad. It just means that because of currency exchange, right? Right now it's like I think 5.5 to 1 or somewhere around there. So like if you want to buy an Apple product in Brazil, yes, the clicks are cheaper, but that laptop is very expensive for a Brazilian.
So the conversion rates
It's much
maybe
lower.
small.
Yes. But the tactics and strategies are the same. So we do see in Brazil SEO and paid advertising, a lot of big companies are starting to do it. It is getting competitive, but it's not as competitive in the States
Yes,
or even
consegui.
in Europe because
Consegui também.
it's more up and coming in Brazil.
24
So this is the
são
opportunity
50.
for
Pô,
businesses to
moedinhas,
go and spend more.
moedinhas
because
azuis.
It's a blue ocean. It's
Certo?
wide open. There's not as much competition. But the factors, the way you get the rankings, like we talked about the 5 main points, it's the same if you're in the United States or in Brazil or in the UK or in India. There's not much of a difference. Even social media marketing for YouTube marketing or even Facebook or Instagram, it's the same in all the countries. Like
Que
with
isso,
YouTube,
tava
we do the same stuff.
transformado, o cara
From
me
the
bateu,
images
velho.
to the tags to the thumbnails to try to get more clicks to try to creating a video that people love so they keep sticking around.
Vai, meu.
But what we see is in places like Europe or in North America, it's more competitive because you have way more people. It's harder because you have way more people creating content for the same exact term. So
Yes.
a great example for this is, you know, the term seguro,
entendi.
auto
Chamar a
insurance.
atenção do-
Seguro,
Yeah,
yes.
insurance. So in America, United States, for the term auto insurance, there's less than 200,000 searches a month. There's over 1.1 billion to be results. So very, very competitive because there's so many people competing for those 200,000
Isso,
searches.
me joga em cima, me joga em cima.
A lot of people sees SEO as a way of not having the need to work anymore. I mean, you produce some blog posts, then you have a good landing page, a digital product, and you don't work ever again. There are a lot of books even talking something like that, like work 1, 2, 3 hours a day and all this stuff. But how much time do you think we need to expect to reasonably wait for results?
So, two things. One, if you, with Google, they
Okay.
do over 9 algorithm changes per day. So if you stop doing SEO and creating content, over time you'll notice that your traffic will start going down. So you can't actually stop. Two, you need to do it for more than a few hours a day. It needs to be a dedication. If you have a business like you do, you need to have people within the company focused to it. If you are doing it yourself, you need to spend more than an hour to 2 hours a day. You need to spend 3-4 hours and do other stuff as well to run the business. And then to see the results, you'll start seeing results within 6 months, but usually after 2 years, you really start seeing amazing results. But within 6 months, you'll see some good traction.
So from 6 months to 2 years. Like, when we talk about SEO, you usually help companies on YouTube and other platforms, or usually on Google?
Nossa, é
Google,
explodido até aqui
Bing,
embaixo.
YouTube,
Esse
TikTok.
vulcão é-
Is there
tá
a
nervoso.
difference on how much
vulcão
time to
nervoso.
expect the results? In your
Yes.
opinion?
E
So
o
we
vulcão
pretty
ainda
much
está
do any major
eruptando.
platform
Está
where there's
erupto.
search. We technically do marketing on every platform for our clients. We do all digital platforms.
Agora a gente pode fazer o seguinte.
But YouTube, you can get results in 24 hours.
Yes, it's very different.
It's
Eu tô
very
aqui,
different.
né?
Google, long run. It
Oh,
can
okay.
take 6 months to 2 years.
É,
TikTok, we're seeing results within days at the latest.
aqui, ó.
LinkedIn, search isn't as popular, but with most social media platforms, it's all about what's new and fresh. Most social platforms, you can see results within days at the latest.
It's very as someone who produces content on social media, it's very hard to produce on social media because you need to get right the timing of the things, and then a lot of the things you just produced ages not very well, and if it generates results, it did. If it doesn't, there's no more use for that content. So that's why I really love to produce on YouTube and also on Google, but more on YouTube because it has a long tail. And on TikTok, the things are crazy. The algorithm is crazy. It's very fast-paced. It's very
Yes.
different. Like, if you could give us some hints or some tips to maybe apply SEO to TikTok, what would be the main tips here?
So I'll let you do something. even
Levanta,
better.
mano,
I'm gonna tell
levanta.
you one tip for all platforms. Okay, so we'll start with TikTok. The big thing on TikTok, they actually want a lot of comments
Agora ele tá
the
tirando
first day the
fogo.
video goes live.
Puta merda.
So if you have comments that are engaging, and sometimes even if they say something different than you, and it creates other people to leave more comments, that's what actually causes the video
Eu
to go
acho que
more
não é
viral.
por aqui, né?
Comments, the top tier of video engagement in TikTok.
Yes, you need comments and a lot of them right when a video goes live. And not comments like good job or amazing. It needs to be real conversations. YouTube, it's all about how much traction does your video get in the first day. So what we do is when we release a video, you send email blast, push notification blast, SMS blast, so that way everyone sees it in the first 24 hours. Then that video is more likely to get suggested and ranked higher. It's all about the first 24 hours of that.
Como é que eu vou lá, bicho?
With Facebook, we see videos that are over 5 minutes generate over 80% more views. We analyze over 900 company Facebook pages, and the videos that were over 5 minutes performed over 80% better than the shorter form videos. So Facebook wants, not YouTube, Facebook wants longer form videos.
Like, is there somebody still using Facebook?
It is. It's super popular. Not in our age range, but the older age range really uses Facebook. So LinkedIn is comments, engaging comments. They need to be at real conversations, at least 12 words long. And you need other profiles with similar types of following to leave comments in the first 4 hours. TikTok, it doesn't have to be comments from people with the same audiences. It can be with anyone. But LinkedIn, you
Pô,
need
cara, o que eu faço, velho?
people
Dá
with
uma luz
similar
aí.
type of audiences leaving comments. That works the best.
What could be the logic behind
Eu vou pro outro lado lá.
this hint?
It's all about the network effect, is my guess, and they look at it from a business side and who has similar networks and what people they think one would like, the other may like.
The thing about LinkedIn that is so cool and so important for us, I mean, it's very important, but we don't usually use it for selling. We use it more for brand. But LinkedIn is, if I like a post of somebody else, that post starts getting delivered to my audience.
Yes.
It's very different from the Instagram.
Yes.
So if someone from my network comments in it and has a base of following similar to me, really, that's very assertive. Yeah.
And then with Google, it's all about brands. They want to rank brands higher. Like in the world, if you look at the term Nike, it's searched more than the term shoes. So more people search for Nike than the word shoes.
So, yeah, but like you said about brands, but it's only brands,
No,
or for example, if Nike writes something about investment, because Nike is a
No, that won't work.
that won't work.
But when you're trying to rank on Google, you need to stick with your niche or your industry. If you're good at business, stick with business. If you're Nike and you deal with athletics, you can stick with athletics, or shoes or apparel or whatever it may be. But on top of that, if you want to rank higher, Google looks at how many people are typing in your company's brand name. The more they type it in, the more of a signal it shows that you should rank higher. So you can release free tools and good content, and this all helps you build a brand.
Boa batata.
A very important question for all of the people watching us right now is about
Ai, morri, cara. Não, cara.
tools.
Não.
And if you could give us some 3 to 5 recommended tools for developing the SEO part
Você pegou, já fica gravado, né?
the business, what could they be?
So number one is going to be Google Analytics. It's from a free tool from Google. It tells
Caraca,
you
tô todo lascado
not
já,
just what
velho.
keywords you're getting traffic from, but it tells you which ones drive revenue. Just because you rank for a keyword doesn't mean it's going to make you any money. If you rank number one for a keyword and you make $0, who cares? It's useless traffic. The second tool is Answer the
Claro,
Public.
agora.
Remember how you talked about these long tails, like how to pick the right stock to invest in when you're starting off? It will tell you all those long tail keywords that people are typing in. The third tool is Google Search Console. If you want to rank in SEO, it tells you what errors there are on your web page and how Google's crawling your page and what's wrong and what you need to fix. The fourth tool is vidIQ. If you want to do really well in...
I use that.
Yeah, vidIQ and TubeBuddy, they're both good. If you want to do really well in YouTube, it's a tool that you have to end up checking out. And then the last one that I would check out is Google Data Studio. See, if you're going to do SEO, you want to do paid advertising, you want to do email marketing, you want to do social media marketing, you want to leverage all the channels. Google Data Studio will take the data from all those places and you can put it into one dashboard. So you can see all your data in one place.
Okay, let me ask you something. It's a particular question here. When I produce videos for YouTube,
Yeah.
and I want to rank them organic, I've seen a lot of companies making good videos, and then they pay traffic for this video. And in my point of view, when you do that, you kind of like
Caraca, que inferno, velho.
mess everything
Puta
about
que
the
pariu.
algorithm here, and something happens, and then this video stops
Isso, cara.
showing to the audience. A good organic video, when we pay traffic, it just stops showing after we stop using traffic. I have a lot of theories about this, but do you recommend using traffic to a video you want to rank? Is there anything related?
No, I don't recommend paying for the traffic. Google clearly tells you that if you pay for traffic, it doesn't help or hurt your ranking. It's separate. But the issue is when you pay, you get all these views and engagement, and you stop paying, it goes away. And it can
Tá
send
ali, ó,
negative
depois da
signals.
pontinha ali, ó.
Yes. Yes. Imagine we are starting right now to use SEO in my company,
Okay?
and I hire someone
Okay?
to
que bom,
do it
que
for
bom.
me, working in my company. What could be like the beginner's guide for this one person to start developing an SEO area in my company?
Sure.
Vai pra
So
cima.
The easiest way to do is we have a guide called SEO Made Simple, a step-by-step guide, and it's in Portuguese and in English, and it tells you what to do step 1, step 2, step 3. But the easiest way to get started is we have a tool that's in Portuguese called Uber Suggest. You can add your website, and it'll crawl all your pages, tell you what's wrong, it tells you how to fix it, and it'll even prioritize what to fix first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so forth. That'll get you the best rankings.
Wow. And so this person could use this tool
Yep.
to like improve my website.
Yep.
And what should be the routine for someone working with SEO?
They should be checking every day for any
Nossa,
errors
velho, que
and
maluco.
fixing up. They should continue to publish new content each and every single day. They should try to build links each and every single day. They should try to get more social shares each and every single day. But those are the main things that someone would focus on.
And are there any mistakes that everybody makes when they like, trying to rank a page or working with SEO?
There's not one mistake we see people make, but there is
What?
one that is very common, which is
Tá bem aqui
people
atrás, né?
create
Como é que eu vou
crap
lá?
content and they expect to rank well. The reason you do
Óbvio.
well on YouTube
Ah,
is because your
velho,
content
não tô
is
falando
good.
isso não.
If your content sucked, no matter how much marketing you do, over time your rankings and your views wouldn't be good. You need to really go out there and create amazing content. And people just forget that. Instead, they create the same stuff that everyone else creates and they regurgitate the same information instead of creating something new.
Yeah, but you're telling about a good content, and what exactly is a good content? I mean, it's personal, or is it? Like...
Yeah, no, you're right. To some extent, it's personal, but imagine you searching for something. You got this problem, okay? Like how to pick the right stock when you're starting out, or which trading platform should I buy my stocks in? Your content should answer the question so thoroughly that the person knows what to do next. That's the first step. The second step is the content needs to be easily digestible. So can someone quickly read it, listen to it, watch it, and understand the main points?
Hoje tem que ir.
The third
Olá.
is it needs to have personal experiences. So with SEO, Google in their algorithm has something called EAT. EAT stands for expertise, authority, and trust. They want people to create content that they're experts on. They don't want Nike to create content on investing. They want Nike to create content around soccer and basketball and football, right? So the same goes with
Aê,
you
Marizinho,
creating content that you're expert on. They want you to tie in your own personal experiences, what they should avoid, storytelling, things that no one else is talking about. In essence, they don't want you to write the same thing that 10 other people wrote. They want you to write something new and unique.
And you're 37 and like you have 800 employees. You operate in like the whole globe. You have working in India, right?
Yeah, we do a lot of work for companies in India. Like, have you heard of like PwC?
Yes.
PwC, ESPN. You guys have ESPN here in
Yes.
Brazil?
Yes.
Yeah, so we do a lot of marketing for, like even in Brazil, we have CNN. They're trying to make a big push in Brazil, so we're now doing their marketing in Brazil.
Very cool. And you have
Legal!
Brazil, you have
Legal!
United States.
Legal!
Like, where are you going to from a personal perspective? I mean, you've reached a lot of success, especially corporate success, money. You're famous in your niche, and you're traveling to other countries. I mean, where are you going to? Where are you headed?
So we'll continue to expand globally. I don't want to take the company public. We were the 21st fastest growing company in the United States 2 years ago.
What do you want to do it?
I don't want the headache. I don't have investors. So I'd rather stay private. We make good money. I don't care for the headache. I've already made good money in my past, so I don't need more. We're continually buying up a lot of companies. We want to do 2-3 acquisitions next year. And the other thing that I want to do is, I think eventually we'll have a company that has 5,000 to 10,000 employees as we get into more countries. But my big personal goal is to give back. Like, the money is not that more meaningful. I make more money when I have another bigger home. I already have a house in Vegas that's expensive. My house in Vegas, I think, is $18 million. My house in Beverly Hills, once I'm fully done building it, is around $20 million. So that's $38 million in real estate. How many more homes do I need, right? How many more cars do I need? You know, my big thing that I want to do, I have children. One's a 1-year-old and one's 3 years old. We want to give all our money and show our children that there's more to money than just keeping it for yourself. Why not use it to help people throughout all the world? You know, I've been to Brazil, I've been to the favelas. You know, so many kids are struggling. Why not help them out and give them a better life? Why not give people better lives in America, India, UK, everywhere around the world? Why not try to use the money to try to solve diseases and problems instead of just giving my kids money and having them be lazy?
Did you have this point of view when you didn't have money, or is it something that
when I had no money, all I wanted to do is become rich. And I remember when I had no money, my first goal was I wanted to be a millionaire. Then I wanted to be a 10 millionaire. Then I wanted to be a 100 millionaire, then billionaire. But it doesn't stop. That's the thing. What point does enough? You're not going to use the money. You know, it's funny. I was talking to my wife. During COVID, I started flying on private planes. So instead of going to the airport and flying commercial, I would be in the plane all by myself. And sometimes we'd get really big planes that can fit 18 to 20 people, right? Usually not 20, but 17, 18 people max. Somewhere around there. And I was spending all this money, and it was never ending. What do I buy next? Yachts? Big boats? I don't need any of that. And then my wife and I came to the realization is we're happier when we actually help other people. Instead of me spending $100,000 or call it, I came from Las Vegas to Sao Paulo. If I flew private, it would cost me maybe $250,000. So maybe $1 million reais. That's a lot of money. And instead of spending it on a plane to go back and forth, I'll go to the airport. I'll sit in a normal plane, and I rather donate the money because when I see other kids living better lives, it makes me happy. But I didn't get there until I started to make money, and I have it. And I'm not rich like Elon Musk or Bill Gates. That's a whole new level. I don't have that kind of money. But I have enough where I don't have to worry. My wife doesn't have to worry. My kids don't have to worry. And we just found that we're happier helping other people.
And that's very beautiful to hear. And you talk a lot about helping children in India, here in Brazil, and it makes me think, like, how was your childhood? It was hard, or?
No, my childhood was pretty good. My parents didn't have money. We grew up in housing that was for people who don't have much money. But my family helped us out. So my mom's brothers helped us. My dad's family brothers and sisters helped him. So my parents had help from their siblings. So my upbringing wasn't bad. I grew up middle class. And I was really happy. But I wanted to be rich. And I never really realized that when you have more money, you keep buying things, and it doesn't make you happy. I remember I went to the store, bought a watch for maybe 500,000-600,000 reais. That's a lot of money for one watch. Happy for one day, and then I was like, it's just a watch. I don't even wear it. I haven't worn it for maybe 3-4 years. But then when I help some kid who needs eye surgery, or doesn't have clothes to go to school, you change their lives. That makes me happy, not for one day, it makes me happy for life. You just gotta keep doing it. I look at that as investing in the future of planet Earth.
And do you have faith in something bigger?
I don't know if I really have. I have faith in mankind. That's probably the best way to put it. And what I mean by that is, I believe people can do so much to help more people out. You just have to give more people opportunities. So what my wife and I have learned is when we help more people and they start doing better, then because they realize how much better their life was because other people helped them, then they start helping others as well. And it
Ah, não, vai,
creates this big
vai ser
chain
ruim lá longe, cara.
where more people help each other.
Puta que pariu aí. Vou morrer pra esse bichinho. Vai sair.
You do have like a first of all, congratulations on this thinking. I think a lot of people should be happier if they discovered how good and satisfying it is to help others, especially
Na boa,
when
velho. Na
you can
boa.
help
Na boa.
a kid, a child. And
Vai ser
I
ruim,
was very helped by a lot of people, and I think what explains the small success I had is more related to the things I don't control than the things I do control. But the things I do control, I worked a lot. And the things I don't control, I think a lot of people help me out. And then I try to help others, especially entrepreneurs, because I think it's like a chain of people helping others, and it's very good for the economy, the health, the family, and the country, and the world, the planet, as you said. And before we finish here,
Puta que
you
pariu,
have
velho.
like a final
Estrela bem ali.
conclusion, hint,
Não vi essa
tip,
bosta.
suggestion, or something that you would leave us
Estrela
to
não,
help,
lua.
especially on the business
Bora.
part of it, on how to operate a business, how to make better SEO, how to acquire more clients, make better acquisitions with lower costs acquisitions. Do you have like a final conclusion?
Yes, no, no. 3 things for the finale. Okay. Number 1 is no one has all the answers. So in business, it doesn't matter if you've done it 10 times or for your first time, everyone's going to make mistakes. But if you avoid making the same mistake over and over again, at the end, you'll be left with the stuff you should be doing. The second thing is hire amazing people, invest in talent, invest in good labor, and pay them the money they need to be successful so that way they give it all in your company. When I say pay for good talent, when you're hiring an employee, don't just try to hire people who are the cheapest. Hire people who are already successful in this space and have solved the problems that you're trying to solve. And the third thing is with marketing, if you want to get a lot of traffic, experiment. There's algorithms. YouTube has an algorithm. TikTok has an algorithm. Google has an algorithm. Everyone does. Their algorithms constantly change. YouTube's algorithm, what it was 6-7 years ago, is different than what it is today. Try to run a marketing experiment once a week so you can learn what works and what doesn't. At my ad agency, NP Digital, we're running experiments for our clients at least once a week and we're learning from it. But what's interesting is we'll run experiments with our Brazilian clients, our clients in America, our clients in the UK, India, and so forth and so on. So you can see all these patterns and figure out what works, and then you apply it to businesses throughout all the world so that way you can grow your traffic faster. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing marketing for, because algorithms change so often. The best way to improve and get more traffic is to run at least one new marketing experiment a week. That could be try to create a new form of content, maybe try a new social channel, try to use infographics to get links, or try to start a podcast because it's not that competitive, right? There's a lot of people who want to listen to podcasts, but not that many people who create them.
Very good finale you just gave us, Neil. And Neil, for the people willing to get to know you better and know your company better, like, do you have any social media to leave the audience to follow you and maybe learn more from you?
Yeah, they can always go to Neil Patel on social media. We also have the social handles NP Digital. So
Ai, meu papai!
Neil, as in Patel, and then digital. And we also have them all in different languages, including Portuguese.
Wow. So do you have like an Instagram, LinkedIn, and all these social media?
In different
Yes.
languages, yes.
Different languages?
Yeah.
So you produce content in Portuguese and you also have
English,
an English account?
yes. Same with other languages.
Okay. And we usually leave a gift for our audience. We call them cousins, os primos, primas. Do you have like a book you can sign for us?
I don't have a book here.
But you have a book, right?
Yes, I have a book.
Can you send us one signed book for gifting?
Yes, I can do it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I'll talk to the Brazilian audience right now to tell them the specifics and make the conclusion here. But Neil, thank you so much. Like talking to you today, it's an honor. I got to know you maybe 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I'm not sure. And I never imagined I would talk to you, so it's very important for me. Thank you so much, Neil.
Thank you for having me. You've had an amazing career, and I know the next 5 years will be even better.
Hopefully, amen, and hope we can do things together. We'll talk about that later, ok? Galera, é isso aí. Ó, seguinte, o Neil falou que vai dar um livro assinado aqui pra gente, pra participar é fácil, tá? A gente postou agora lá no Instagram do Primocast uma foto nossa agora. É só você ir lá e comentar qual foi a melhor sacada que você teve nesse episódio, tá bom? E aí você marca alguém, o Kaique, que não estava aqui hoje, ele vai escolher a melhor postagem e aí ele vai presentear vocês com um livro assinado do Neil Patel, tá bom? Ó, se vocês estiverem gostando desse podcast em inglês que a gente tá fazendo, me avisa pra gente continuar, tá bom? Grande abraço, até o próximo episódio, tchau.
Cagadinha, hein, bichão? Aqui que é o problema. Esse aí é o bichinho. Vai, meu. Ô, cagadinho. Nossa, consegui, cara. Consegui. Fui. Tinha um atalho por aqui, ó. Yes, vamos lá, vem. Vem na linguinha. Ah, agora é. Ficou. Vou pegar você, vou pegar. Não! Vai, velho! Defesa do caramba! Limpa a Louca. Oh my god. Caraca, eu não consigo entender aonde o boneco tá. Ah, eu não consigo entender. Não consigo. Filho da mãe, cara. Ah! Vou botar ele. Caramba! Ainda não temos o suficiente para ir. Falta uma. Não dá pra ir ainda, dá? Mais um. Agora achar essa aí. Ah, já sei qual que é, ué. Da roupinha, da festinha. Yes, fiquei parado mesmo, troco. Ah, já sei também. Já sei. Qual outra que eu passei aqui? Vou pegar a chaminha, a lavinha. Cai na lava! Pô, a lavinha, mano. There's a way through here. Ali na frente, ó, tem como acender essas duas coisinhas. Ah, tá, cara, é com o bichinho. É com esse cara aqui, ó. Claro que é com ele. Será Será que é... Ah, pegamos! Vamos pro próximo mundo. Vou nem perder tempo, vamos pra lá.
E aí, pessoal, vamos começar mais um episódio do Podcast Sócio.
E recentemente mostraram que essa rede, ela está...
Agora...
ela tem um papel
Reino
causal.
de Bowser.
Porque na medida em que você se desconecta de fatores que são externos, você permite com que o cérebro faça associações que são um pouquinho mais improváveis, podendo ter um insight de criatividade. É por essa razão que às vezes as pessoas são muito criativas um pouco antes de dormir. Muita gente tem ideia logo que está próximo a pegar no sono, porque você está num momento ali que seu cérebro dá uma...
No banho.
E no banho.
E no banheiro.
Exatamente.
O banho é maravilhoso.
Eu tinha um paciente...
Só enquanto o pessoal não tem o celular no banho.
Exato.
Daqui a
Exato.
pouco isso vai...
Cara, eu tinha um paciente, um tempo atrás, que ele era investidor de startups e etc. Mora nos Estados Unidos. Ele fez um banheiro, box de vidro, anti-embaçamento, e tem um monte de canetão. Cara, ele escrevia tudo durante o banho, porque foi ali que ele teve as ideias que deram mais dinheiro. Por causa dessa rede. E olha que interessante. Então, por isso que o Muzi fala, o ócio ele é criativo, é importante você dar essa desafogada no cérebro. Pacientes com depressão, por exemplo, que tem uma ruminação de pensamentos, aqueles pensamentos que vêm e vêm e ele fica sempre dentro dele, já se sabe que tem uma atividade aumentada dessa rede.
Isso deve ser doido, hein?
E se você pegar, cara,
Vai ser difícil.
e analisar de forma lógica, um paciente com um transtorno depressivo, por
Não
vezes...
quero saber, mas a Odyssey está quebrada de novo.
Para... Entendeu o que eu quero dizer? Eles são
Consertá-la devemos
criativos.
coletar
São
2
criativos
de
por lado
poder.
nenhum.
3 apenas.
Eles são criativos em imaginar
Mas
bons
se você pegar, quer
imaginar
praticar?
cenários ruins. Eles são criativos. Você pensa, mas como é que você chegou nessa associação? Altamente improvável, cara, de que vai acontecer isso na sua vida. Não existe probabilidade alguma e zero indicativo que esse cenário vai concretizar. Só que pelo fato dele viver muito dentro e essa rede, de modo padrão, tá proporcionalmente mais ativa, ele tem um substrato maior para construir cenários na cabeça dele que são cenários catastróficos, ruins e que por sua vez vão interferir no que é a emocionalidade dele e o humor dele. E tem um tratamento chamado de Behavior Activation ou ativação comportamental, padrão ouro para tratar a depressão, que consiste basicamente no que? Você tirar o paciente de dentro da cabeça dele e colocar ele fazer coisas. Então lava a louça, abre a janela, passeia com o gato, passeia com o cachorro.
É um criativo.
Não, mas o paciente, a ideia é você tirar ele de dentro.
Parar de ficar raciocinando negativamente.
Ele tem que engajar em alguma coisa, ele tem que se preocupar em não quebrar essa xícara, ele tem que se
Arrumar um
preocupar em...
cubo mágico, sei lá.
Ele tem que fazer alguma coisa. E já se demonstrou que quando você aplica isso no paciente, a rede desliga.
Tem um livro que eu li, que é mais da sua área, eu imagino, que era o Previsivelmente Racional, do Dan Ariely. E lá ele falava sobre uma pesquisa onde o pessoal era forçado a responder algumas perguntas, primeiro de maneira normal e depois com um lápis entre os dentes, para simular um sorriso, e ele mostrou que as respostas, quando as pessoas eram forçadas a sorrir, eram mais positivas. Ele citou o budismo, e muita coisa do budismo você encontra também na filosofia estoica, essa questão do foco no presente, né, de busca da virtude. E lendo Sêneca, que é o meu autor preferido, tem uma didática muito fácil de
Sempre que
ler.
você não faz um momento assim.
Pois é, tô tentando pensar. Mas o Seneca, ele falava, né, sobre a ira, como é que você faz pra acalmar uma pessoa irada, ou você mesmo se acalmar naquele momento. Você só vai dizer um conceito de apatia. Não é apático, sabe? Deixar as coisas acontecerem. Exatamente. É um apático do tipo, você não vai ficar nem muito feliz, nem muito triste com os acontecimentos da vida, porque a vida é isso que tá acontecendo, você tem que amar o destino, seja ele qual for. Mas aí ele falava, você tá muito irado, como é que você faz para deixar de ficar irado, né? Começa a se forçar a imaginar um outro cenário, até a sorrir, por exemplo, porque as disposições internas se adequam às externas. Aí quando eu li o Daniel, eu falei, caramba, é a mesma coisa que tá falando aqui. O cara falava isso no século I. Né? Ou seja, por mais que ele mostre através de pesquisa hoje, era algo meio óbvio. E eu queria também pegar esse ponto do hábito que a gente citou aqui, porque a gente falou...
Deixa eu só completar. De vez em quando eu falo lá no Instagram, o pessoal dá risada, mas é um exercício muito legal, que eu falo, gente, assiste à noite meme. 20 minutos de meme como exercício. Você vai rir e aí você vai ser uma pessoa mais... Você vai exercitar
mais feliz.
o sorriso, né? Porque até isso a gente também ajuda você a ficar mais feliz, mais pra cima. Eu acho que eu sou uma pessoa mais pra cima porque eu sorrio mais. E eu faço isso forçadamente às vezes. Hoje em dia não. Mas antigamente, tipo, se eu vou lá, eu sorrio.
Eu acho que uma coisa alimenta a outra. Você tá mais pra cima, você sorri mais, você sorri mais. Meio possível. Mas
Eu achei sensacional. Você falou de ambiente, você cria o ambiente. Eu acho o ambiente uma coisa fundamental. Vou te falar uma coisa. Eu tirei eu deixava o meu quarto de dormir, eles ficavam conseguindo, eu olhava para eles toda noite antes de dormir. Porque eu ficava pensando.
Ele ficava
Eu
deixando
ficava
nervoso.
dialogando com ele. E aí, meu Deus do céu, blá, e ele lembrava alguma coisa sobre isso. Isso atrapalhava o meu sono. Bom, tirei, e aí o que eu fiz? No escritório, do jeito que a biblioteca fica sempre de olho para ela. O que acontece? Então, às vezes o paciente está falando comigo, ele tem um diagnóstico, eu acho que
Caraca, Lita, não é aquele coraçãozinho lá, velho.
sabe? E é muito esquisito isso, porque aí você puxa isso, a memória é muito curiosa. Ela começa a abrir, você começa a ver o resumo que você fez e não sei o quê. E veja que a questão da dominação do ambiente, de você trocar de lugar, trocar de contexto, você transforma uma coisa positiva em negativa. E transforma uma coisa negativa em positiva também. Do estoicismo. Cara, eu acho taxista fenomenal. Eu adoro conversar com taxista. Existe ambiente mais tóxico do que trânsito? Bem ruim.
Principalmente numa grande cidade.
Então, para você manter a sua sanidade mental, cara, você tem que ser muito. Você tem que ter princípios muito rígidos. Eu tava voltando do aeroporto um dia, seu Carlos. Outra pessoa, a gente tava conversando, o seu Carlos contando a vida dele, e eu acho o taxista muito curioso, né?
Não, caramba!
A memória, por exemplo, mostra que os profissionais que têm maior memória são os taxistas.
Tudo longo, né?
Exatamente. Eles têm maior hipocampo e mais funcional. Tem que lembrar o nome da rua, onde ela fica, como chegar nela, né, com a mão.
Um adendo. Aqueles que foram aprovados.
Escritor, exatamente.
Os que não estudaram, o cérebro mudou. Mostrando pra galera que quando você foca em estudo, o cérebro muda.
Exatamente. Vamos fazer um Ellencast. E aí, de repente, passou um ano cortando todo mundo. O seu caso, ele estava trocando de faixa, um sinal assim. Bora. Você imaginaria que no seu Carlos faria. Deu sinal, 3 segundos, começou a virar devagar. Meu, o motoqueiro passou voando e lambeu, cara. O motoqueiro voltou.
Pega o negócio!
Quem que você tá pensando que você é? O que você tá querendo fazer? Aí ele pegou, abaixou a janela e disse assim, e você? O que você tá querendo fazer com as pessoas na sua casa que te amam e estão te esperando? Cara, o motoqueiro, ele olhou pra cara dele, foi uma coisa assim, um choque na cabeça do cara. E o seu cara continuou olhando pra ele no trânsito. O motoqueiro não sabia o que falar. Ele pegou, tirou a motoca dele, e em vez de passar e sair correndo, ele desacelerou e foi mais devagar. E quando a gente olha o que é a sabedoria das pessoas que estão... eu acredito até que se recriando para conseguir viver num
O jogo
ambiente
me
de
ajudou,
estresse
cara.
extremamente tóxico.
Não, não vou comprar, não.
Conseguir sobreviver a ele, e não só
Valeu.
sobreviver, mas
Não
conseguir
aceite facilidades na vida.
subjugá-lo, né, para você conseguir ser feliz. Imagina você chegar com essa carga em casa, ou então você sair para trabalhar com você quer tentar aquilo lá. Elas têm muita coisa para te ensinar no sentido crítico de você lidar, por exemplo, com a sua raiva, de você lidar com a sua ira. E não é à toa que a gente estava falando disso, porque a gente falou na câmera. Ele fala o quê? Ele fala para você transportar o que são as suas atitudes antes de você tomar, né? Uma coisa reptiliana, midaliana, nem um crocodilo, quando você põe a mão na boca do morde, você jogar o seu núcleo ventromedial do córtex pré-frontal. Você simular aquilo. Simula antes. Peraí, o que eu vou fazer aqui? Será que o resultado é esse mesmo?
Não, mas não é não.
Dentro do conceito de alta performance, a gente está falando, não é o que você consegue fazer, é o resultado disso. Alta performance é resultado. Então, como a gente está muito acostumado a falar em meios, né, principalmente na medicina, o importante é o meio, a gente quer muito resultado. A obrigação do momento médico é dar o melhor meio possível. A gente não consegue controlar ainda a vida do mundo. Falar, você vai morrer, você vai viver, eu garanto que você vai sobreviver. A gente às vezes lida emocionalmente com isso, mas racionalmente você não tem esse poder, você não tem essa capacidade, você não é o melhor médico do mundo. Então você tem que oferecer meios. Quando a gente fala de alta performance, a gente está falando de resultados. E o resultado nem sempre é aquilo que você imagina frente ao que você pode colocar nele na sua produção. Quando você escolhe os meios adequados,
Cagada, hein?
bem
Cagada, mas não nasceu, né?
vem a sabedoria, é que você consegue oferecer resultados melhores. Mas comparados aqui, comparado ao quanto que isso é para você. Nem sempre aquilo que a gente quer
Vai pra cima, vai pra cima.
eu acredito que o resultado é mais adequado aos seus necessidades. Ainda que você seja capaz de conseguir.
Quando você vai
Matei o grande dragão.
É difícil, assim. Tem algumas pessoas
Me
que
deu três de uma
se
vez.
preocupam em entender a alta performance. Normalmente a alta performance ela é mensurada
Era
na
só
parte
matar isso aqui e voltar.
porque é uma mensuração.
Visual, né?
Você mensura ali o tempo que o cara levou para tantos metros e tal. Então é um indicativo mais preciso. Mas alta performance na vida, em empresa, em cenários de relacionamento e tudo mais, parece que ser a pessoa mais
Bora pro próximo
inteligente não prediz isso. Parece que ser o que tem maior controle emocional prediz. Então a pessoa que quer ter algum tipo de alta performance ou quer buscar uma alta performance, parece interessante que ela tenha um córtex pré-frontal, ventromedial principalmente, e dorso lateral bastante avantajado, bastante usado. Tem uma série de estudos mostrando que pessoas que têm uma maior tendência de serem presas, pessoas que têm uma maior tendência de terem doenças, normalmente você vai avaliar a funcionalidade das funções executivas do córtex pré-frontal mais reduzidas, seja lá qual for o motivo, lesão, acidente, enfim. E quando você vai ver pessoas que têm um certo grau de racionalidade, capacidade de simular a situação e tomar decisões que não sejam de forma impulsiva, são pessoas que tendem a ter algum tipo de traquejo e flexibilidade de lidar com situações que podem potencializar o alcance dela dentro do tipo de tarefa. Eu acho que um exemplo ótimo para isso é a internet. Se você for uma pessoa que for muito emocionada, você não sobrevive na internet.
Quando
Que é
você
o-
falou de ambiente negativo, pior do que o trânsito, eu pensei
Twitter.
rede
A
social.
internet.
Pensa no Twitter.
Cara, você tem que ser o seu Carlos lá, senão você não vinga, velho.
Rede social. Teve um dia que, por curiosidade, eu falei, eu vou dar uma olhada em todo mundo que fala mal de mim. Vou caçar aquilo que eu não caço, geralmente. Quero ver comentários negativos. E aí eu fui pro YouTube, pro Shorts, aí comecei a contar. Aí peguei comentários de posts e comecei a contar. Eu parei depois que eu passei do 500.
Nossa
de pessoas falando mal de mim.
Cara, você leu 500 comentários.
E fiquei me sentindo bem mal, inclusive.
É.
Puta
Né?
que pariu, né, amor? Pra que
Aí, mas eu queria
Isso
ver
é 2
aquilo.
horas fazendo cocô, hein?
Eu queria ver aquilo
Você
pelo
fez
seguinte,
isso
né?
sentado na
Fala pra
privada.
ele que dá hemorroida.
Pô, isso é uma opinião forte.
Obrigado por esse ponto.
Cocô
Mas
é um fax.
o que eu queria ver era o seguinte, pô. Eu tava vendo 500 pessoas falando mal de mim naquele momento. E se eu procurar, eu vou achar muito mais. É um jogo de números. Quanto mais gente você impacta, mais pessoas não vão gostar de você no final.
Cara, eu não sabia disso aqui. E olha aí. Bora, levanta, cara! Puxa vida! Ai. Ah, aqui não adianta pegar a estrela, né? Tem que seguir, né? Nossa, eu consigo. É pra lá então, né? Falta uma. Aquele mesmo lugar lá. O que eu tô fazendo aqui? Aqui, ó. Hahaha. Escanteio. outra. Ah, tá lá. Não! Não! Mas vai ser ruim. Vai ter que ser ruim, cara. Tem nada aqui. Vai, meu filho. Yes! Ixi. O chefe não estava brincando quando ele falou que você era muito persistente. Mas eu devo isso à minha família dos Brodals para ir até você com tudo que eu tenho. Pega o negócio aqui. Oh, I can see the end of the fight, take the one. Ah, acabei de pegar o coração já. Yes! Enfrentar o outro então. Bora, sem conversa. É, galera, valeu então. Quase 2 horas de live. Na próxima a gente continua. Fui, muito obrigado. Tchau.